How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Bitman TV. If you could subscribe and like my channel, that'd be so kind of you. I'm doing a review of Raw and Smackdown week commencing the 13th of February. Starts with Edge and Beth Phoenix coming out. Basically, Edge is really hot. He's really angry about obviously what's happened at Royal Rumble. He came into Royal Rumble, eliminated Judgment Day, then he got eliminated by Judgment Day, and then they started battling in the aisleway. And then Rhea Ripley came out, who then got beat down by Beth Phoenix. While he's going through all of that, saying obviously he's coming after Judgment Day, he wants Judgment Day. Judgment Day come out, but before that, Edge was giving his props to Judgment Day, basically saying his reason for starting that group was to elevate all of them, and he's done that basically. Besides Dom, and then basically Judgment Day come out, and obviously said they're gonna beat him down, they're gonna take him out, start calling out Edge. Beth Phoenix says she's come here to brawl, not to talk. Where's Rhea? Rhea's not there. And then a brawl breaks out, and then Beth Phoenix gives a finish to Finn Balor. Same one as Jade Cargill, AEW. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Then we had Dawkins versus Priest for the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Really good match, very close match as well, but Priest got it in the end. Then we have Austin Theory turning up in a Lamborghini. Woo. So let's see. So yeah, he's there basically to see what's going on. And then we had Chelsea Green, basically they're complaining that she's not been treated as a star. She didn't get the right chocolates she wanted. She didn't want Belgium chocolates. She wanted a different type of chocolates. And she didn't get the opportunity to enter the chamber. And she keeps threatening Adam Pearce that if he doesn't comply, she'll call his manager, well, his bosses. So we'll see what happens there. Then we had a video on the Bloodline and Sami Zayn, the trials and tribulations that's been happening between both sides and what's going to transpire on SmackDown. Then we had a match, Baron Corbin versus Dexter Lomas. Really good match, really quick match as well. But in the end, Dexter wins. Then we had Becky in the back calling out Bayley, sort of talking about their backstory, how Bayley wanted to attach herself to anyone who's going somewhere, who's shooting for the moon. And that's what she did to try and bring her own self to stardom. So that all leads into the main event of the evening in the cage match. Then he comes out. The Beast, Brock Lesnar, comes out. Pyro, there wasn't a lot of pyro, but he came out. Then he started saying... I think this is one of the best promos, one of the funniest promos in a while. He basically started saying he said the Royal Rumble wasn't all that. He said it wasn't a good night for him. He got eliminated by Bobby Who. Then he kept saying Bobby Lashley, which was quite funny. He also said he couldn't stop thinking about him night and day. He was thinking about him all the time, and he couldn't get him out of his head. Sounds like he's got a thing for Bobby Lashley. There's even a bit where he's saying he was even thinking about Bobby Lashley while he was in bed with his wife. But he said a few hours after that he started thinking. That was quite funny. I'll give him that. But then he also had a contract for Bobby Lashley to sign to face him at the Elimination Chamber, where Bobby Lashley came out and said, "Hey, I beat you first. You beat me once. Then I eliminated you at the Royal Rumble." So then Bobby Lashley said he would take the contract at the Elimination Chamber for a match there, and he will have his manager look at it, he'll have his lawyers look at it, he will look at it, and then he will decide what he's going to do, because he holds all the marbles at the moment, which then led Brock to give Bobby Lashley 2 F5s. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know why they don't do the match at WrestleMania, but yeah. Then we have Nikki is stalking Candice in the back. I have no idea why she's stalking her. I have no idea what's going on. That's quite funny. Then we had the four-way match. Camilla, she's back. Mia Chin, Piper, and Candice in a four-way chamber match, for the qualifying match. And in the end, Carmella wins. So congratulations, Carmella. Then we had JBL calling out Corbin, saying he was calling him the wrestling god, calling him this, calling him that, but he looks like a clown, and he's making JBL look like a clown, and they've basically cut ties. Well, he's cut ties with Corbin. Then basically it looks like the Hurt Business are back together. Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander versus the Alpha Academy. Really good match. But in the end, wow, Cedric actually wins on Raw. Congratulations, Cedric. It's good to see you back in the win column. Then we had Miz in the back, saying he wanted to talk to Adam Pearce. Well, he was waiting to talk to Adam Pearce, but then Rick Boost came out, and Miz wasn't too happy because Rick Boost got a appointment with Adam Pearce before he did, and then he started to call out Adam Pearce for his general manager skills. And Adam Pearce goes, you know what, I heard everything you said. We're going to make a match with you and Rick Boost. So there's a match coming up. Then we had Chelsea Green. She wanted a match. She said she better get a match on Raw. She wants to be treated like a star. If she doesn't, she's going to call his manager. So she got a match with Oscar. Really good match. But in the end, Oscar won. And basically surrounded the ring was all the ladies after the match. Was all the ladies who's going to be facing in the Elimination Chamber, which is Natalya, Oscar, Liv Morgan, Raquel, Carmella. And then Bianca Belair comes out and goes, hey, whoever wins the chamber match, I will see you at WrestleMania. Then we had Cody come out. He started talking about, he got a good reception from the crowd. Started talking about him versus Reigns, how he needs to beat Reigns, and he respects Reigns as well. Then Paul H comes out, and then he started congratulating Cody on winning the Royal Rumble. Cody then tells a story about how his dad, the great Dusty Rhodes, was broke at one point, and Paul Heyman helped him out financially, and it seemed like quite emotional. Seemed to be quite emotional going on there. And then Paul H basically switches on him, goes to heel and says, your dad said you are his favourite son, but he then said Roman Reigns is the son he wished he had. And then Cody just said, it doesn't need to get personal. This is a championship match. Then we go into Montez Ford versus Elias for Elimination Chamber qualifying match, which Montez actually wins. And then Theory's at ringside talking, and gets taken out by Seth. Then in the main event of the evening, it's Bayley versus Becky in a cage match. As the match is happening, Damage Control get interfere in the match, which nearly cost Becky the match, I should say. Then out of nowhere, Lita comes back and helps Becky, and Becky wins the match. So very entertaining Raw. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it for sure. Then we go to SmackDown. Paul H is basically saying the unified WWE Universal Championship, Undisputed Championship, is the centerpiece of the bloodline. Without that, there's no Roman Reigns, there's no bloodline, there's no island of relevancy. Then as he's talking about that, Sami Zayn pops up and basically says, tell Roman I'm coming for him, and in 8 days he is losing that title. Then we have a first match with Drew and Sheamus versus Hit Row, because Hit Row was talking smack in the back, I think the same day or last week. It was quite a bit of a squash match, I'd say. Sheamus and Drew wins. Then a little video plays with the Viking Raiders saying they want Sheamus and Drew, so we'll see what happens there. Then we see Jimmy Uso trying to call Jay with no answer, so we'll see what happens there. Then Cross is in the back saying he's ready for the four-way match. He's going to take out Rey Mysterio. Then we have Lacey Evans versus some chick, and Lacey Evans gets the victory. Then we have Jimmy still trying to get hold of Jay, but he's not showing up. Paul H then sees him and goes, what's going on? Jimmy goes, I haven't heard from Jay. I have no idea what's going to happen. Then we have Sonya and Chelsea complaining. They're not in the Elimination Chamber match. They're not getting a title shot. And then basically Adam Pearce goes, I'm going to make a tag team match with you two versus Liv and Raquel Rodriguez. See you later. Then we have the tag team championship match. As at this point, the Usos have held the title for 572 days. Jimmy turns up on his own to go against Braun and Ricochet, but just before the match started, Jay turns up through the crowd. They have a awesome match. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it, but in the end, the Usos defend their title. Then we had Rey Mysterio in the back calling out Cross, saying he's going to win the four-way match. So we'll see what happens there. The winner faces the Intercontinental Champion. Then we have Jay, say he's got Jay's back. No matter what happens, he's always there for Jay, but he doesn't know if he's still in the bloodline. And then he runs into Paul H, and Paul H goes, what's going on with Jay? Jimmy goes, I don't know. Then we have Natalya. Natalya's in the ring. She calls out Shayna, saying how they used to be together as a tag team. Then she's being weird and she runs around with Ronda. She's holding Ronda's coattails. Then Shayna comes out and goes, before Ronda was here, I was winning titles, etc., etc., etc. Then Ronda comes out and they all beat down Natalya, and then Shotzi comes out as well to help, but then she gets beat down as well. She should have probably stayed in the back. Then Jay runs into Sami Zayn in like the parking lot with the setups in the back, the production trucks in the back, and then Sami basically gives Ray his props, saying thank you for what you did at Royal Rumble. You didn't get involved, and he says he acknowledges Jay, and this basically says to Jay, leave the bloodline before it falls apart. Then we have LA Knight in the back saying he's not thinking about Bray anymore, he's only thinking to the future, and LA Knight is on a roll, is what he wants to do. Then we had Sonya and Chelsea versus Raquel and Liv Morgan. Really good match. Go and watch. I haven't seen it, but in the end, Liv Morgan wins. Then we had Charlotte Flair in the back talking about the rise of Rhea Ripley, saying Rhea Ripley, at the time she faced me, she was green. Now she's facing me, and I'm going to put her in her place. She basically says she's not going to be on Raquel's, on Charlotte's level, but she's going to put her in her place on the level that she's on. Then we had the four-way match with Rey Mysterio, Madcap Moss, Cross and Escobar for the Intercontinental Contendership match. Really good match. Go and watch. I haven't seen it, but in the end, Madcap Moss wins. Then in the end of the segment of the whole show, Paul Heyman says to Jimmy, for next week on SmackDown, Roman Reigns said for Jimmy to stay at home and to watch the show from home. Because there's things he's going to see at home that he doesn't see live. So that's your review and your rundown of what happened on Raw and SmackDown. If you could like, subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you very much.